Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Depending on wherever you are watching us from, welcome to BMS News. Mr. Peter Obi is setting the pace for the newly elected African leaders and most of governors that know what they are doing. Guys, I'll be dropping some views for you people to watch, especially what is happening in the Senegal, where they just had their independence celebration, and also what the Alex Oti is doing in Abia State. This will tell you those who are out to work and not giving flimsy excuses. Look at what is happening in Abia State today. Normally, governance is not supposed to be hard, but it's just that the APC and their president lack the sense of decency and dedication to serve. Look, look at what is happening in Abia State. I'll be dropping a video of what is happening in Abia State where Alex Oti is having an interactive chat with the Abians. But before I do that, there is something that just caught my attention that is currently happening in Senegal, where the Senegal president have decided to cut down the cost of government. This is what took Tinubu over 6 months to realize he needed to cut cost of governance. And still, Tinubu is still struggling to do that in Nigeria. When you keep telling Nigerians that it won't take a year to know a serious-minded president, they think you are being unnecessarily biased. A good president will think of things that will benefit his people from day one, not things that will benefit him and his cohorts. Guys, just watch this video where Senegal did their independence. Just watch this video. You see that most African leaders now are implementing Peter Obi's strategy. Just watch this video.
Senegal's new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has just broken a traditional norm of presidents holding pompous Independence Day celebrations after marking the country's 64th independence anniversary, with a 5-minute fete at the Senegalese presidential palace today on April 4, 2024, and we are here to explain to you why things happened that way. During Senegal's Independence Day celebrations, or rather throughout the African continent, and even beyond Africa, that is in any country that was colonized, we are used to seeing independence anniversaries being punctuated with highly decorated military parades, an exquisite show of country's military power, as well as a wide range of thrilling performances to entertain guests. However, Bassirou Diomaye Faye cut all that, and went for what we would say, a low-budget anniversary ceremony, that only took 5 minutes of his precious time, and saved the country millions of CFA francs, that would have been used for a much bigger ceremony, that is if you are a cost-conscious person. The ceremony started with the president, who was dressed in white from neck to toe, inspecting a military guard of honor that had been mounted at the Palace of the Republic, after which he greeted the military generals and state officers present, among them being Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko. What followed the greetings was witnessing of the raising of the sober and symbolic colors on the palace, with the same being the Senegalese flag and his presidential standard. Once the flags were in the air, the president waited for a moment for the national anthem to be performed by the military band present, before closing the ceremony and walking back to the palace, probably for him to proceed with the tedious and involving task of formulating his cabinet. This brief anniversary was not by accident, but rather by design, because in his address to the nation the previous night, he had announced that he would not preside over a traditional ceremony, but instead would just do what was done here. Given the circumstances, instead of the traditional parade, I will chair tomorrow at the Palace of the Republic a ceremony to raise the sober and symbolic colors. And to a majority of Senegalese people, Perhaps the developments didn't come as a surprise, since the ceremony was conducted barely 2 days after their new leader being handed the keys to the presidential palace, as President Macky Sall's successor. This, obviously means that he didn't get enough time to prepare for a bigger ceremony, and a lot is on his table at the moment, since he is most likely tirelessly working on forming the administration that will help him deliver to the people of Senegal.
Guys, looking at what this guy has done, the newly elected president of Senegal, in the person of Bassirou Diomaye, it looks like it is only Nigeria that we don't understand this word, cutting down cost of governance. This man, as he decided against throwing a lavish Independence Day ceremony, but did something simple that took little to no resources at all. This is showing that many African presidents will apply Obi Manifesto to solve their country challenges. Look at that ceremony, simple and impactful. No unnecessary jamboree, no invitation of numerous presidents. Simple and very, very impactful. Sometimes I wonder if cutting down the cost of governance is against Nigerian constitution. I wonder sometimes. Guys, look at also what is happening in Abia State, where the governor is having chats with the people of Abians.
No week we do not receive visitors, some of them coming from other parts of Africa, some of them coming from Europe, America, Asia. So even today I received a written proposal from a Chinese company that we had been engaging with on the development of a seaport. We found that we are about 19 kilometers from the high sea, so that it requires a lot of dredging before you get to the same dock area that you are talking about, where we propose the seaport. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we have in mind to make this place a tourist attraction. But we want to build the fundamentals first. If you don't have access food, if you don't have good hospitals, if you don't have good schools, if you don't have a clean environment, if you cannot process your waste to something, then you can be talking about tourist attraction. If you don't have good hotels, for instance. So those are the prerequisites. So direct answer to you, we have plans, but we don't think it has matured at this time, so we are not making so much noise about tourist potentials of Abia State. There's a whole lot of other, the museum, the Arochukwu, Long Juju and all that. There are a lot of things that we have here that will attract people. But let us do the fundamental things first, and then we can now get to that. Thank you.